When was the last time that you talked to your mom? Mothers are the very caregivers of our lives, the foundation, the ones who tinker and tend to our every need. They provide us with the one thing impossible for us to achieve on our own: life. Now, my definition of mothers isn't simply applying to real-world mothers in our lives. It applies to the most important one of them all: Mother Nature. Now, I'm sorry about that light there, but it does imply Mother Nature is not simply just Earth sense. Light is something part of Mother Nature. In fact, without light, we wouldn't be able to develop the eyes to see, right? But that leaves another question. If it wasn't for eyes, what purpose does light serve? Like, seriously, if it wasn't for humans, what purpose does the universe serve? One of the things that the universe does offer to us is, like I was saying, light, but gravity is another one. And it's more significant in that way because gravity is one of the 4 fundamental forces. For it to be fundamental, it means it can't be broken down into further forces. The other 3 being strong nuclear, weak nuclear, and electromagnetism, if I'm correct. We're going to purely focus on gravity. Because for gravity to work the way it does, it's almost as if another force, an outside force outside our universe, had to act upon it to make it work the way it does. Now, I leave this question with you. If gravity were 1,000,000 times stronger than it is today, in the overall universal power sense, where everything was 1,000,000 times more attracted to each other, I'm going to speak more like Newtonian, if everything was more attracted to each other 1,000,000 times, do you think the universe would be able to foster life? Probably not, right? But you're probably thinking there, 1,000,000 times sounds really unrealistic. What is realistic? I mean, to be fair, we set those boundaries ourselves by defining them in our dictionary. But for something to be realistic, it has to fall under the laws of our universe. It has to fall under the things that our universe has defined from before mankind or even Earth existed. Now, for something to be defined by our universe, why? Why is it defined the way it is? Why is realistic a thing? And if it is a thing, why is it the thing that we define it as? Why am I not able to jump outside of our Earth's atmosphere? I mean, of course, it's because of my body's limitations, but why does my body have those limitations? Why is gravity a thing? And if it is a thing, why is it tinkered in a way where I am able to stand on Earth right now and not be crushed by its gravity? So when people make the argument that the universe's gravity being 1,000,000 times stronger is unrealistic, 1,000,000 isn't a lot. There are infinite amount of numbers. Gravity could have been in an infinite amount of times stronger or weaker than it currently is, and just so happens to be falling under the small range for modern day life as we know it to evolve. And now you may make the argument that other forms of life may have evolved, and if it was, would life be this advanced? And I don't just mean advanced in the way we're building rockets to go to Mars, which is cool, but I mean in the sense where we're able to actually observe the universe for what it is and understand and question things. Questioning is one of the most important things in the entire world, yet alone the universe, because without questioning, it kind of defeats the purpose of there being a universe. Nothing you know and love today would exist without a question, and I think that's kind of obvious to most of us, right? Like, you wouldn't be on your iPhone or Android or whatever phone you use without there being someone to ask the question, hey, how do we use something to make it into a phone, or whatever the question was. The questions I'm more specifically referring to are the ones asking about what is the universe. I feel most people are hyperfixated on what is the meaning of life, but not enough what is the meaning of the universe. In my definition, I feel as if the universe's meaning is to foster life. Now, what life is for, it may be a loop. I believe that the universe's purpose, since it is so perfectly tinkered for life, is to develop life. But not just life that is able to question it. Meaning that the purpose of the life that is fostered from the universe is to question the universe that created it. What do you truly believe that the purpose of there being a force of energy that we know called light existing, if it wasn't for people's eyes to observe? I mean, what other purpose does it truly serve? You know what I'm saying? Like, why does it exist? What other purpose does the force of energy form of sound serve if it wasn't to be heard by ears and for someone to observe it with their ears? What other purpose does the fact that there is gravity serve other than to foster habitable orbits around stars which can foster light? I mean, it's truly, if the universe existed without life, it would truly be purposeless or purposeless. And if there was a universe that exists right now that doesn't have life at all and will never ever have life, it reminds me of the situation of if a tree falls in a forest but nobody's there to hear it, did it make a sound? No. Did the universe ever really exist? No. There is no dated record of it. There was no laughter in it. No cries, no tears, no voice. Not even a little microbe. It served no purpose, so does it really exist? Will anyone ever hear of it? Now, for it to exist, does it have to be heard of? No, but in our sense, and to literally everything that can think, it never existed. Because it doesn't matter if it existed or not. And to focus on things that didn't matter is a waste of time. Time. What the hell is time for? The universe could have existed without time. It could have existed in a point of time that is frozen in time. It could have existed at the point where the universe was the size of a football and paused. But why does it keep going forward? Why am I able to hit the 10-minute mark of my video? Which I don't think I will. But why is time in existence? And if there is a logical explanation, why does it go the direction it goes? Forward. Why can't they go backward? Are there more directions? Now, if you look at my argument and you show this as a proof of there being a God, I don't necessarily agree completely. Not because I don't think there's a possibility of there being a God, but just because it reminds me of Darwinian's theory of evolution. There could have been an infinite number of universes that have existed. And I don't know what they would look like from an outside perspective, outside of the universe, but I believe that there could have been an infinite number of universes. Because if there's one, and it's possible for there to be one that just spawns out of nowhere, seemingly, I believe there's a possibility for an infinite number of universes to exist as well. And within those infinite number of universes, maybe only select few actually can foster life, and that's purely just due to chance of their fundamental forces working perfectly and everything falling into perfect rotation and just perfectly being able to foster intelligent life that can observe it. And we just so happen to be one of those. The same way that in Darwin's theory of evolution, there is an infinite number of possible mutations that can occur within an organism, but the ones that do are either wiped out because they are not viable for life, or they are carried on and passed down as an adaptation for the entire species. The same way that the universes with life are the ones that live on, the ones without, forgotten. It's not incorrect to say the universe gives us life and even purpose, but without life, the universe is truly and utterly nothing.